Welcome back, everybody, to Story Time with Dylan. Welcome back to Dialers Who Like Tactics. It's Thursday. We have a new hero that came into the game today, Vazaris. He is the pretty little Black Panther to my right. So, in this deep dive, we're going to kind of follow the format that I've always done. So, I'm going to go into this guy's kit. We're going to go over his kit in its entirety with discussion along the way. We're going to get into gear recommendations. And then after that, I do have some gameplay footage to show you guys regarding almost everything you want to know about this hero day one. I'm sure other stuff will come to light. And then we'll wrap it all up at the end with final thoughts. So these videos are usually on the long side. So do as I am doing. Crack a drink. Sit back. Enjoy the raspy, horrible sound that is my 44-year-old Canadian voice. And we'll see you throughout. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get over to the deep dive. Where's the button? All right, here it is. There we go.
And there he is, all sparkly, Immortal 0 X30 Summit level or Hyper Evolution level 89. Let's go. Okay, so let's just go straight into his kit. His ultimate. So Vaz here pounces at the target, pushes them back 4 meters, and stuns them for 3 seconds. Then he's going to go back to his original position and throw 5 spears at the target. Each spear deals damage equal to 220% of Vaz's attack. For every 100 attack speed, he throws an extra spear, up to 5 spears. So he's going to chuck 10 spears, it sounds like, if you have him at 500 attack speed. Vaz takes 80% less damage during the displacement, so he can't be killed during the displacement. You notice how it doesn't say afterwards, so the only time he's going to not take that damage is when he's doing his leap back or forward and backward. This skill can trigger basic attack effects. That is 10 basic attack effects if you got him up at 500 attack speed. Talent modifier reads, before activation, dispel all control effects and gain a shield equal to 30% of max HP for 5 seconds. So he's if he CC'd, that's not going to stop your ultimate. He's just going to clear the CC and then do the ultimate and do his displacement. The exclusive effect, Deadly Hurl. So when the spear hits the target, it deals damage around the target equal to 180% of Vaz's attack. So this makes his spear or his ultimate, all 10 spears, an AoE. It's going to hit if there are people around them. It doesn't say the radius. It just says it deals damage around the target equal to 180% of Vaz's attack. Now, the question is can you use the pumpkin prototype? Because that requires basic attack effects to hit 2 or more people. So if you are running the pumpkin, then you could possibly give yourself a lot of extra healing with his ultimate. His first common skill, so Vaz throws 2 spears, with each spear dealing damage to all targets in a straight line, much like Arcadia, equal to 400% of his attack. This damage can trigger basic attack effects. Talent modifier reads 30% crit damage, so this is going to be nice, just a little bit extra big nuking ability. And then the exclusive effect, after each revival, and he only gets 1, he's going to throw 2 more spears. So that is just a side, that is just a little add-on to the rest of his kit that doesn't really affect this ability. Just when he's revived, he's going to chuck 2 spears. Or does he chuck 4 spears? Because it just says after the revival he throws 2 more spears. But does that mean that this ability throws 4 spears? Could be. It's a little bit unclear. His second common skill, each 3 basic attack effects basically triggers this effect. Summon Dio the Eagle to attack the enemy, dealing damage equal to 220% of his attack. Also reduces the target's damage increase. And this is, in the patch notes, this was called damage amp. It's unfortunate that it's not damage reduction. Damage increased by 15%, up to 5 seconds 3 times. So you can, if a unit has damage amplification, then you can reduce that by 45% for 5 seconds. Now, who has damage amp? I do believe everybody has damage amp from their exclusive. So you're just gonna lower. You're basically just gonna lower the damage of whoever he's targeting. Not major. If this was reduced the damage reduction, then that would help out immensely the entire team, because then all the other hunters could also do increased damage on that unit versus just that unit, one unit, doing less damage amplification. Talent modifier reads, when the eagle deals damage, it increases his max HP by 900% of his attack, up to 10 times inherited after revival as well. So his max HP will carry over through death, and then restore the same amount of HP. So each 3 basic attack effects, and he has a lot of them. If his ultimate chucks 10 spears, it's going to be triggered 3 times. And then he's going to, after revival, if he chucks 4 spears on his first common skill, that's going to trigger it. So he does have the capability to ramp up his max HP quite a bit and to heal himself quite a bit. Exclusive effect, after each revival, and he only gets 1, then this ability does true damage. Regardless of what, regardless. If you have Miranda in there, it's going to be doing true damage anyway, but it's going to switch over to true damage after he dies. So he's going to get more damage, or the ability to push out more damage after death. And then Heart of the Wenfyr, his passive, when he dies, he will be resurrected with 70% HP and energy up to 1 time per battle. It'd be nice if it was 2, but it's not. It's 1. 2 would be much, much better, but it's only 1. When allied heroes are revived, and that's going to be like Korra if you have her on the team, or Vazaris and Arcadia are going to be the primary ones that this is geared to, increase their HP by 50% of Vaz's max HP and restore the same amount of HP to them. So he is got a lot of support capabilities for specifically other heroes in his group that can resurrect, which is going to be mainly Vazaris and Arcadia. At the start of battle, or after each revival, he's going to take 95% less damage, and that's gradually going to decrease to 0 over 20 seconds, much like the Assassin's Cloak. This effect is also effective against true damage. So true damage is damage reduction ignoring ability doesn't get ignored, right? Or it does get ignored. I don't know how I butchered that sentence. So, talent modifier read, at the start of battle, for each 1 allied Wenfyr hero, increases damage reduction by 15% up to 90. So there is the possibility in the future of having a Wenfyr hero be added as the 6th, or have the ability to be added as a 6th unit, because in order to get 90%, you're gonna have to have all 6 Wenfyr heroes. So if you just run him with Vazaris and Arcadia, then he includes himself, he's going to have 45% damage reduction at the start of battle. And then the exclusive effect, this is enhanced. When our hero resurrects, so this hero, it deals, okay, so this is a little bit weird wording, it deals 600% of Vaz's attack power to all surrounding enemies 3 times. So when he is revived, he's going to have a little bit of a pulsing nuke. He's going to revive. But what I wonder... I was going to say, I wonder if it also does that for Vazaris and Arcadia, but I don't think it does. It's just this guy. So when he dies, he's going to come back, he's going to nuke, he's going to pulse 3 times, doing a big old attack. This damage counts as a basic attack effect. I'm assuming that means basic attack effect. So on paper, sounds really cool. Frontline unit for the hunters. Let's see what they recommend. So they're recommending as your core stats attack speed, and crit rate. So he's going to need 300 crit rate from gear, because he needs 500. So he's going to need 300 crit rate from gear, and then if you have Vazaris on the team, that's going to add 200. That's going to hit your 500. So then his ult is going to do the most attacks possible, triggering, every time he ults, all those extra spears, they are considered a basic attack effect, and each 3 basic attack effects summons the eagle, which ramps up his max HP and heals him. So very important. Attack speed and crit rate are probably going to be the big ones. Attack, everything around his kit is revolving around his attack. So yes, Very, very critical attack, attack speed, and crit rate. They're recommending Marauder, Unleashed, and Sun Signet. Makes sense, right? Sun Signet, you want the crit rate. But I think you can fit some Zephyr in here too, and we'll get to that. So they're saying, and there it is, Arcadia and Vazaris are his friends. They're recommending Disa Caves, Molten Abyss, and then all modes. Yeah, I don't think all game modes is suitable, but Disa Caves, the Lost Valley, Hunter Dungeon, and then Molten Abyss, the Katosian Triangle, Hunter Dungeon. So that's his kit. If we go look at his talent modifiers, he does have crit rate in his talents, so that is nice. They actually did that correctly, and that's going to give you an extra 9%, so you don't need as much crit rate from gear. And then it's just attack, defense, and health. So they did actually do a good job on giving this guy some good substats in his talents. I don't know if these ones do much. The damage caused by the next 3 basic attacks is increased by 14%. This cannot stack. Okay, a little bit more damage. After the basic attack damage, the same target 3 times in a row. The damage of the third one's increased. So it all revolves around his basic attacks. When you continue to attack the same target, the damage done increases up to 5%. Okay. All right. Okay, we get it. So do them all. He's an SP. The soul potions aren't hard to come by now, so do them all. Now let's look at the gear. So I'm going to recommend to you guys 2 possible ways to gear him. And through my testing today, I have used both gear sets. So Unleashed is going to do more damage. Keep in mind, you need to hit 300 attack speed from gear. You see down at the bottom on the right hand side, I do have exactly 300 attack speed from gear, meaning with Vazaris, he's going to be at 500 at the start of battle, right off the rip. There are prototypes that can increase attack speed, so keep that in mind as well if you don't want to run Vazaris. And then how you want to run him: crit rate, hands, attack, helm, and attack, boots. Okay, so, and then up top, obviously the substats, you want to look for crit rate, attack speed, and attack. So there's crit rate and attack speed, crit rate, attack speed, and crit rate. I like that one. Attack and attack speed. So that's kind of how you want to gear him Unleashed. Now, if you want to go Marauder itself, the 4-piece gives 15% crit rating. So you kind of don't need a Sun Signet set. What you're going to need, since you don't have the attack speed, is you're probably going to need a Zephyr set. So you see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, I am overcapped for speed. Now keep in mind, with hunters, attack speed does increase basic attacks. Basic attacks are going to be beneficial to hunters, so the more attack speed on a hunter, the better. But I am overcapped for what his kit requires. This will give me 600 attack speed with Vazaris. So same thing, you want to look for crit rate hands, attack helm, and I am running attack speed boots because without attack speed boots, you're going to be under the attack speed cap for this guy. I'm not saying you can't run attack boots, but if you're going to run Marauder, you're going to want, this is his survivability set, his tanky set, and the more attack speed is going to trigger more basic attack effects, which is going to heal you more and ramp up your max HP faster. So I would recommend these 2 different sets. Unleashed, if you're just going to want to go the damage route, because what does Unleashed give you? For every 3 basic attack effects, increase the next one, or the next attack's damage by 75 to 100%. Bonus damage scales with attack speed, again up to 500 attack speed. So Unleashed is going to do a lot more damage, and you can see the attack value of this gear set is 33,000 versus my Marauder set, which is 17,000. So I'm getting a lot less attack with this, but this is going to be his survivability build, and I have used this, and I think you will use this as well, and we'll show you where. So ladies and gentlemen, that is his kit. That is his gear recommendations. Now let's go show you some gameplay. Okay, all right, so the easiest place to show you guys the difference in gear sets and to show you what this guy can kind of do is in the current endless battle. So Carabin here is a hunter boss. You see, deals damage in melee range, deals damage in prisons, So there's nothing in this kit that will enhance or negate true damage effects. There's nothing in this kit that's really going to, or in this fight, that's really going to hinder testing your damage. Now, how should we play this? We kind of want, we're going to remove Purin. That's going to be the ideal way to get the most points in the battle. But what we want to do is let's just run this like we would probably run a fight in PvP or in normal mode. So most of you won't have Arcadia. So let's put Vazaris up there, or not Arcadia. I always call her Arcadia in my videos. It's Artemis. Most of you won't have Artemis. So this is probably going to be the team you're going to run. Now, in like a PvP or a multi-fight, this will kind of give him a little bit more heals, but this prototype's not going to do anything in a single target boss fight. For that, you probably want to run either with like Thorn of Glory, Fifth Element, Tried and True, Soaring Medallion, or even this one works quite well for hunters. What does it do? When an allied hunter, we'll say, inflicts a crit attack, which they're going to do, they have a 30% chance to inflict bonus damage equal to 3% of their max HP and up to 360% of the hero's attack value. So this does have Dark Summit, does have a lot of potential to do some nuking damage. Also keep in mind the crossbow that is not available anywhere unless you have purchased Artemis will probably be the best in slot first prototype. Actually, let's equip this one. And then the new prototype, which you can't really get unless you get it on the Gamuzzo's Bell, is going to be the best in slot middle prototype for hunters. So let's try this. Let's try two different, let's try both sets. Let's first try his Unleashed set and see how it does. Again, this is going to be probably your typical team that you're going to run. If you want to look at my commander, I already have him on my commander +2 ultimate. Obviously, the back row and the middle get the most benefit. So we're going to probably run like this so that my Becca gets more crit damage. Now, he's not getting any benefit from any stats being in the front row, unless we want to go something like this, which we kind of can do because we're probably not going to lose Miranda. And then really, the back row's got 10% crit damage, middle row has 9. So this is probably a pretty even test of what he can do damage-wise. Keep in mind, my Arcadia is at Immortal 1, my Rise is maxed, but she is in Gluttony gear, and my Becca is Immortal 4, almost maxed, with a full tempered Unleashed set. So that's going to be, keep that in mind when we're judging the damage between Vaz and Rebecca. So here goes. So as you see, Arcadia, we can't really tell a whole lot off the rip for damage comparisons. Arcadia out ahead. Everybody is under the bubble, so we are doing a bunch of true damage to him. Not saying Miranda is the ideal comp, but this is just kind of showing off what he can do. And this is like a battle where, we're not in a real predicament. We're not going to die. And you see Rebecca starting to pull ahead. Arcadia doing more damage, but Vaz doing a little bit more damage than Vazaris. So this is his Unleashed set, and he's not really doing a whole lot of damage. Like, he is not a damaged monster. So I think that his primary purpose is going to be, but look at all those spears he chucked out when he did his ultimate. His primary purpose is most likely going to be a frontline attack unit. He's going to be a lot like Samael. So think of Samael when you think of Vaz. Now, some people may be tempted to run Fade Out set, but I don't think Fade Out set is going to be ideal. It works nice on Sam because Sam's got multiple revives, but Vaz really only has the one revive, and I think running tempered Fade Out over Marauder, you're going to negate a lot of the tanky aspects of Marauder set, and if you run it over Unleashed, then you're going to be losing a lot of the damage aspects of Unleashed based on the fact that hunters need that attack speed. So I do think that, Fade Out is not going to be the ideal set for Vaz. I do think it's either going to be a one of two, being Marauder or Unleashed. You can run Gluttony if you don't have Unleashed, but let's just pause it right here. Actually, we'll look at the damage meter because I was talking. So how did he do? Damage-wise? So he did 129 million. So he did better than Rise, but definitely a lot less than Becca and a lot less than Arcadia. So not a whole lot of damage. Arcadia being Immortal 1 versus him being Immortal 0. Arcadia does have a little bit more... she has one more evolution level, and I do believe Arcadia does have some tempered. Yeah, her helm and her weapon is tempered. So keep that in mind. She's going to do a little bit better. So let's now move him to his Marauder set and see if he does any better. Keep in mind, he did, what, 129 million, I do believe, damage. So let's just try this. Again, this test in Endless Battles, this is just testing in DPS. This is only testing DPS because we're not in any fear of dying. So this is just for me telling you, what can he do? What can he dish out DPS-wise against the other hunters? And as you can see, it does not look like he's going to do any better. In fact, moving to the Marauder set, he's going to do a lot... well, I shouldn't say that. My guess would be he would be doing a lot less damage than he did in his Unleashed set. So let's let this run out, though, and we'll do a final evaluation. This is like a PvE DPS race, or a DPS test. Check. So is he doing better? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he's doing better. I think his damage numbers are going to be worse. In my initial testing earlier, in Marauder set, yes, he did do worse damage. So 50 seconds left. He is definitely going to do less damage than he did previously in his Unleashed set. So if you guys just want damage, Unleashed can be the way to go. But question is where would you want Marauder? Well, I do have footage, and we'll discuss that in a little bit, of where he is ideal in Marauder set. So we're ramping down. Can he do basically 40 million damage in 20 seconds? I doubt it, because then that would be where he did in his Unleashed set. Boom, boom, boom. Want you in my room. All right, so looks like he's just going to do 108. So not, basically 21 million less, which, that's a significant difference from what he did previously. Arcadia doing roughly similar, Becca just blowing him out of the water. So Becca's still the undisputed damage queen. So PvE-wise, I'd say Unleashed is better, and he's not going to be the damage machine that we probably want him to be. I don't see his evolution levels, once you get him up to Immo 5, really helping that. So that's kind of like PvE in a nutshell. If we go look, I don't think we have... No, don't have Molten Abyss up, but obviously you would want to run him there. He'd be a good frontliner. He could help out there. And then Lost Valley, Sincero Marsh... Do I have him lined up? I do. Okay, so I was previously running, I had Artemis in here. Artemis in here. I had Artemis in here in place of Vaz. So let's throw him in his Unleashed set, and let's see how he does. Now, the thing is here, since there are multiple enemies, his ultimates are going to be doing AoE damage, so we can run Pumpkin Bomb on this fight. It's going to go quick. Don't blink, ladies and gentlemen. Don't blink. Let's chuck Becca in auto and see if she targets the main boss. Before, she is not. Okay, Becca's being an idiot. All right, how did we... it happened so fast, I don't know what happened. Let's look. So if we look, so he did 19.2. He did more than Arcadia. He did close to Becca damage. And he definitely did more than Rise, because he had that big burst off the start. Keep in mind, too, his ultimate is kind of turned into an AoE, and in this fight, he was going to be able to hit those side adds, which gave him a little bit more damage. So possibly in AoE fights, he can do a little bit better. So you can definitely use him there. You're definitely going to use him in the Molten Abyss in Katosian Triangle. Okay, so now I do have footage, ladies and gentlemen. I have recorded footage of him against Panda Boss. So I was able to one-shot level or stage 10 Panda with my Hunter team without Artemis. Without Artemis, I could one-shot Panda in stage 10. I was very, very impressed with that. And this is the instance where I found I did better in Marauder gear than in his Unleashed gear, because I needed the survivability for this fight. And this is where I did much, much better with Marauder. I was able to keep him alive versus the damage gain I would get from running Unleashed. So in Exotic Expedition, on the Panda boss, you do want him in a Marauder set. I do have that footage recorded. We will watch that after this segment. Okay, so there, he is good here. He does help here. This is the first time I've ever made it to stage 12, and he did indeed help me immensely to get there. So Exotic Expedition, he definitely has a place. Again, we'll see that footage later. PvP, okay, PvP, you know, a lot of people were pretty high on this guy, helping out in PvP, but I'm just going to break it to you. He doesn't really help. Unless you have Artemis, he just doesn't really help. So let's go down to the bottom. Let's go down to the bottom because Toro here, my buddy who is now gone, has an old school summoner team, but not the good summoner team. So how would you possibly run him? So let's throw in the pumpkin bomb, give him a little, that'll heal him and give him a little bit of AoE damage. Let's just leave him in Unleashed for now, and then let's bring in the person that is best for hunters, and that is Miranda. So let's see how this goes. Yes, I know I could bring in Maz, but I'm not going to. So if we put on 1x speed, you know, he is stunned off the bat, which is not great. Against summoners, he's just going to jump towards, I do believe it's probably going to be Doragon. Let's see if he just jumps toward Doragon. Yeah, he jumped towards Doragon, but Doragon can't be CC'd. So we did kill, they did nuke everybody. If you see Arcadia and Vazaris are the big damage dealers, and they should be, because they, you know, this is an AoE fight, so they do the most AoE. But now, that's the old school team. Now let's take them up against a new school team, being Hellfire. Hellfire, okay, this is going to change things. Now we're running a Mott. Now we're running Mazrani. This is what most people are going to run their summoners with now. They're going to throw Mazrani on this team. And let's see, does this, and keep in mind he is also in his Unleashed set. The reason why I don't think Marauder is any good, because he will probably be the last person standing in this fight regardless. So, you know, we got good damage reduction. He's going to have his first death right now. So he's going to come back. But we're just overwhelmed. Like, he's just standing there, just getting bum rushed. We're not doing a whole lot. So, not a whole lot there. No, all done. All done. We're dead. And then, so, against old school summoners, maybe they might be okay. Against new school summoners, no, not going to be okay. So let's just pick a random team. What do we got here? This is a 7-point. This is a weird Vanguard / tank team. How do they do against this team? You know what? It's not that good. And you noticed in that last fight against the summoners, he was still alive. He was like the last man standing on that fight. And this is in his Unleashed set. So there is really no, I found not a whole lot of use case for running Marauder, because it's more so about your other hunters surviving, not him surviving. So you see Arcadia is dead. I do believe we're probably going to lose Becca, like right now. He's still standing. Here's his first death. He's going to come back. Vazaris, dead. Arcadia, dead. He was the last one standing. He's back again. So, do you have to run him in Marauder? No, you don't really have to. In Unleashed, he's still the last man standing. You might as well go for peak damage. And yeah, we're just picked apart. So the Hunter team, I could go on and on and on and show you more and more and more and more and more, but you're not going to get anything out of this. They're just not, doesn't seem to really help them. Now, let's pick a tank team. Let's pick a tank team, because that's what Hunters should be beating. So keep in mind, he is not running Ray. He does have the 4 good tanks, but he's running Samael. So that's going to change things a little bit. Now, the problem is that Carabin and the throw tends to kill your hunters. So let's just run it, and we'll show you what happens like this. So yeah, we get the shield up, but they're going to chuck Wamagon to the back. And then Panda's going to stomp because he's in a resonant set. But then as soon as Carabin ports to the back, things kind of go sideways. See, like there, right there, Wami just killed Rebecca. That tends to be what happens, is that whatever tank goes to the back just nukes all the hunters. And you see he is still the last one standing, even though he's in his unleashed set. So he definitely does have some survivability. Keep in mind, at the beginning of the battle, he does have that huge increased damage reduction. That's what's keeping him alive. And then when he is revived, he also has all that damage reduction. But now, you know, let's see. Okay, so maybe you don't want that. You know, hunters, obviously, well, let's just try throwing a really low-level Artemis in there. And now, what can we do? But now we need heals, right? So now, let's throw in Mazrani. Is this going to be ideal for anybody? Not a whole lot of you, but this is something that you could probably do, because you need more. This team needs Artemis, unfortunately, in this point in the game to be effective against decent teams. Again, you saw this team beat an old school summoner team, which it should be able to. But we still couldn't beat this tank team. Just the 1-2 punch of Carabin going to the back, and then the throw going to the back just still negates hunter teams. But if we chuck a low-level Artemis on here and then Mazrani, which I do recommend everybody get Mazrani for PvP. He's going to be a little bit of a cheat code. He's going to allow you to use other teams. He makes other teams viable. And here we go. So Mazrani brings a lot of damage reduction. You see Artemis is able, even at low level, is able to keep everybody pushed way back. You know, Wamagon is pushed way back. We just nuked Wamagon. And then Mazrani's keeping everybody healthy. And the team just nukes everybody down. Much, much different. So we kind of got to look at this team in two different ways. With Mazrani, without Mazrani. Because I haven't spent any money to get Artemis up to this level. I've just gotten her through my normal astral ticket flow coming into my account. So this seems like it's a lot more viable. I know that a lot of you probably don't have Mazrani A7, but you will, because next week when we get the new Awakened Hero, Mazrani is most likely going to go into the otherworldly store. So assassins, unfortunately, assassins are going to nuke down hunters very, very quickly, as they should. Assassins are built to kill energy and hunters. With, you know, as soon as you stun them, you know, they kind of fall apart. You know, they're not going to be able to do a lot of damage off the rip to assassins because of the cloak and because of the Fiona immunity phases. But you see, we are lasting. We're hanging in there, kinda. In fact, they're doing a lot better than I thought they would. But like, what have we done? Have we killed anybody? Yeah, we killed Asuka. So we did lose Vazaris. I'm waiting. Is he going to come back? No, he's already had his 2 deaths. He's now gone. So, you know, unfortunately, the rest of the assassins are probably just going to pick us apart. Although there we just killed Fiona. But can we kill, who is that, Samael and Dom down there? Probably not. They're probably just going to keep picking us apart because Purin is on the field as well. So even a low-level assassin team was still... Oh, no, look at that. We did beat it. We beat it, but by the skin of our teeth. So for PvP, is he a game changer in PvP? No. No, he's not. He's not a game changer in PvP. In PvE, he's going to be useful. He is going to get some use. He's needed right now in Guild Expedition. He's useful in Exotic Expedition, and he's required in Endless Battles due to the point or bonus point value. So let's go watch some game footage of him in action in Exotic Expedition, and then we'll end off with final thoughts.
All right, so that's the big chunk of his deep dive. You saw that, you know, he's just another mid-level hero, just kind of like Amat and Take was. Now let's pull up this other footage. I want to walk through this one with you guys. So let's let's go like this. Okay, this is from Exotic Expedition, And let me blow this up. This is me on level or stage 11. Wait, I'm just trying to figure out why my music's turned off. There we go. So this is stage 11. He actually did quite well. So this was the team. I think this was the team I used to get down stage 10. I was able to one-shot stage 10 with this team. No Artemis. No Artemis. I might have had Miranda in there. The reason why I have Mazrani in here now is because I found the first boss, the Summoner boss in stage 11, running Miranda or Purin was not enough to keep my heroes alive on my energy team, but I slapped Maz in there, and he was able to keep them all alive, no problem. And he supplies the attack boost to the back row heroes, so I was able to one-shot the Summoner boss. Whoa! Wait, what happened?
There he is.
There we go. Okay, I was able to one-shot the Summoner boss for the first time on stage 11. So, this is about 4 minutes of me just trying to figure out what the hell, how to beat this guy. So right now, you know, I think he's in an Unleashed set, which isn't going to go so well. I'm just trying to see if my head's blocking anything. I think we're good. Because what my plan was, is since I still had my energy team, I wanted to get as much damage as I could out of my hunters before I took my energy team in there to finish him off. So right now, you see, he's not doing too well in Unleashed. He's just not staying up. And even with Maz in there doing some healing, he's just not staying up. So you see we're at, what, 75%? And then as soon as his Panda just gets in there, he's just nuking him down. Okay, I gotta quit clicking on this button. My mouse is so damn sensitive. Let's just put my mouse, let's just let go, and we'll just talk through it. So, 75%, and then Panda's just gonna nuke him into the ground. Can't keep him up. And how long does he last? He lasts to 60%. So, you know, my hunters can do probably now another roughly 20% more on the boss until they're eventually killed, but I want to get a little bit more out of him, so I'm trying Purin. So he's still in the Unleashed set, because I also want damage. Like, obviously, if I had Artemis on here, I could maybe run Artemis instead of Arcadia. But then keep in mind, too, if I don't have Arcadia, then that's going to give him less damage reduction, right? So, first death, 84%. Not going to cut it. Purin's just not keeping him up. I was kind of counting on Purin giving Becca the attack boost. And I was trying to rely on Purin keeping him up passively healed enough that he did die. But that didn't happen. So he made it to, what, 60%? With Maz. So let's see, does he make it a little bit longer? A little bit longer? With Purin? He did. He made it to 56%. Which actually wasn't horrible. That wasn't that bad. The problem, though, too, and I do have to pause this, is I can't afford to lose Purin because I need her for my assassin team on the last guy, the boss number 4. So I can't afford to lose Purin. And I can afford to lose Miranda. And in Exotic Expedition, if you lose Mazrani, you get basically 3 lives. So I can reuse my Mazrani. Which is why I was trying to use Mazrani at first. And then I put in Purin. Realized that's dumb. If I lose Purin, I'm screwed. I won't be able to get past the woo! The boss 4. So now we bring in Miranda, because Miranda's going to give the true damage. And I don't know why I restarted it there. Oh yeah, I wanted to put her in manual. I'm trying to time her shields for when he takes big chunks of damage. So I do believe he is still in Unleashed. Yeah, he's still in Unleashed. So I'm trying to pop the shield there. You see that he's not really getting a whole lot of shielding. But, you know, he did get some. But now he survived. He survived. He's lasting a little bit longer. And you see, I don't think we've even had a single death yet. And he is at, what, 73. So he's back again. I'm putting just another layer of shield on him. He's taking the hits. Again, he is in an unleashed set here. If you look at the damage meter, like he's doing applicable damage to Arcadia, which is interesting because he was definitely below her in the endless battle fight. So to see him actually putting out the same amount of damage is kind of nice. So he died at 51%, but that wasn't that bad. Well, I don't know why I am pausing here. Oh, that was it. Okay, so that was the last run, and what I ended up doing was finishing it out. So, no, let's just go back a little bit. So, he made it to 51%, and I think that's the best he's done. And I do believe he is in a Marauder gear at this point. I'd have to go back. Let's go back and check it out. Yes. Yes, there you go. There you go, right there. So, he has been in Marauder gear this time. So, why? Because Marauder gear is going to give him more survivability. He's going to get that life steal every time he does a displacement, which is going to help him heal up a little bit longer. So I made it to 51%. There you go, 51%. And then what I did after he died is I let my hunters finish it out. I actually continued on here. I hit the continue button. And I let my hunters continue it out because they still got all their shields. And they were able to get him down to, I think it was around 34%. So then what I did is, since I still had my energy team, and I still have, I actually used, I do believe I used Mazrani on my energy team, since I'm going to lose Miranda here. I was able to get him down almost till death, and then I just put in my assassin team to finish him off. Then I went on to boss number 3, which was the Vanguard boss. One-shot it, no problem. That's an easy one to get down in stage 11. And then I used the Vanguard team to chip away a little bit into the boss number 4, and then I finished it off with my assassins. So this is the best I've ever done in Exotic Expedition, and I do believe he definitely helped, because with him, again, let's go back to the very beginning. With this team, or I do believe with Miranda, I think it was with Miranda, I was able to one-shot Panda stage 10. And I did it, didn't seem that hard. I didn't lose anybody either. And I think I might have actually been able to run him in an Unleashed set in stage 10, because the boss wasn't doing as much damage, and I was able to mitigate that with the heals. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over to final thoughts. Final thoughts on this bad boy right hither. So, 1, he looks cool. 2, he does bring things to the Hunter team. So he is a frontliner. You saw in the PvP footage, he can actually survive. He is actually quite tanky. He is kind of like Samael. Unfortunately, you only get the 1 revive. So I don't have the prototype. So he got launched into the game with a new prototype that is going to give the Hunters a lot more survivability. And I think if you had that, that's going to make him even better. But then you saw at the end of that PvP footage that even a low-level Artemis, I think if you had a low-level Artemis and A7 Maz and the new prototype, the Hunter team might be a force to be reckoned with. And if I get that prototype, I'll make another video rehashing PvP. But really, what he does is he also brings a little bit of support to the Hunter team. When your Vazaris or your Arcadia die, they do come back with basically what, it's more max HP. I think they gain max HP similar to Vaz's max HP, which gives them a lot more time in the fight. And I do believe they get more energy because they come back with, I think it's 70% energy. If you do get an all skills on his commander for him, you can get it up to 100% health regen and 100% energy regen. And actually, no, the energy regen is just for him. But he does bring some survivability aspects to the other hunters that can revive. Or Korra, or Samael. It also goes towards any hero that revives. So maybe you would want to run him like him, Cora, Samael. If you were just going to go 1v1 PvP. Him, Cora, Samael, Vazaris, Arcadia, and then an A7 Maz as your healer. That would be a nice team. That would be a nice team. But really, the Hunters, if you don't have an SP, come on, man. Yeah, the SP Hunter was made for this team. You saw that one fight against the tanks with the SP, with Artemis at a 3-copy Artemis. Her just nuked, just pushed all of the tanks back away from them. And then the Hunters were kind of like congregated in a little circle, like a little wagon train. And they were just able just to nuke everybody from distance, even with only a 3-copy Artemis. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the final thoughts? What is my grade going to be on this guy? I think I can't give him a high grade because he doesn't have overwhelming DPS. You saw in the initial testing in the Endless Battles, he was doing significantly less than Arcadia and Becca. But then you saw in the Exotic Expedition that he was doing equivalent damage to Arcadia. And I think that would be because we were running him with a Miranda in the Endless Battles, and in that case, everybody's getting all of the true damage, whereas he does have true damage in his kit after he is revived. So running him in this last battle that you saw with... actually, you know what? The last battle did have Miranda, so I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why in Exotic Expedition he did just as much damage as Arcadia that had much better gear and had an evolution level on him. So he's okay. He's okay. And that seems to be where EE is kind of headed towards these days. The him, or Amat, Take, and now him are all just okay. You know, we haven't had... I don't know when the last OP hero was. Maybe it was Claire. And we had a good run. We had Claire, who added a lot to the Vanguard team. And then we had Coriolis, who added a lot to the Energy team. And then we had Samael, who added a ton to lots of teams. And then ever since that, all of the hero releases, all of the EE exclusive hero releases, not including the collab events, all of the heroes since then have been meh. So I'm going to give him a B+. B+. I rate everybody on from F, D, C, B, A, triple S, SP. So I am giving him a B+, so he is maybe just middle of the pack. Tell me what you think your rating of him is based on this video or based on your experience. The word of the day, if you've made it this far, 47 minutes into a deep dive of one of my deep dives, the word of the day is going to be Aztec. I don't know if if this is Aztec motif, but I'm going to say it is. So put Aztec down in the comment section below. Tell me your grade for Vazaris, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm sorry it was so long, ladies and gentlemen, but that's kind of my style. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. Cheers, peace. Bye-bye.